This is a piece-by-piece video. The piece I'm talking about in this video is my Future Frontiers. This is also a piece thinking about futurism and thinking about living in space, and it is done with that same electroformed copper base, and then the house is a lost wax casting. I actually did a burnout method where you take a certain amount of the material and then some of it was balsa wood and some of it was wax, and it was carved and formed, and then you put it in the investment and you burn out everything in the interior. So like all the balsa wood just went to complete ash, and then you fill it, and then that's how you get the form with the bronze. The tree was also done with the burnout method. I used wax and also a little weed that I found outside of the studio building at SIUE. And then the color for the top for this green, this is actually a natural moss that I minced like with a knife, just like really, really small to get the right texture. And then all of the Sands of Times pieces have a silver element, and in the other pieces, they are the human figures. In this piece, it is that little swing, and I just fabricated that from a little sheet of silver, and then there's 2 wires for the cords. For this piece, I wanted to continue thinking about life in space and kind of near future life in space, and I decided to go kind of extra surreal with it, because usually when you think about life in space and space travel, you're thinking about all of the extraordinary parts of it, all of the lights and bells and whistles and super awesome like air filtering technology and jets and rockets. But I wanted to think about the more practical things, the more domestic things, and I think in some ways, when we finally do take up residences on other planets, I think they will be wonderfully ordinary. And by that I mean we will take the things that seem ordinary with us. Like you'll still have socks, you'll still have spoons. And so I was thinking about what a home is and what the archetype of a home is. And so I thought the mindset of building a very ordinary, I started with the idea of a homestead house because that's kind of what's familial to my family. But then I decided to go with more of a regular street kind of look, and that's why I ended up doing the swing in the tree and not adding, because at one point I thought about adding like the chicken house and the windmill and all of that extra stuff, and one that was just impractical for my time frame. But then on the other hand, that's not as much the common experience right now. So I just went with a basic cabin and the tree with the swing. And then I did change a few of the elements of the cabin. You can see I replaced what normally would be the chimney with some antennas. Let me see if I can get that to focus. Oh, that might just not work. Here we go, I'll turn it this way. And then the back is more technological than the standard kind of rock chimney would be. And I'm very happy with the feeling of this place because it's kind of like that little home archetype. And then putting it in the dome and putting it in space, it also gives this notion of preservation and about what we can maintain. I didn't make the dome, I ordered the dome. And then with the feet on this, I purposefully inset them so that there'd be this rolling feel, so that when it was placed, it would look a little bit floaty. I wish it would have been a more pronounced effect. You don't have as much control when you're using the electroforming medium as you do with other mediums, but I'm still very happy with it. And that is my Future Frontiers piece.